Thanks very much, Ryan.
You've had quite the week, haven't you?
Yeah, I suppose a different week.
To the average.
Different week to the average, is right.
Were you surprised by the reaction to the book, Donal, at all?
I suppose, you always expect that there is going to be a certain reaction, but yes, I was surprised. Especially there's going to be interest in Ireland, if you like, and amongst GA people, but probably the scale of it surprised me. It's, for example, today I did stuff with the likes of the Observer and the Times in London and Channel 4, which, you just go along with, but you don't really, it's hard to believe, really.
It's huge interest in what you've had to say and what you've been writing, and, as you say, internationally, for some reason. Absolutely,
and as I said, it's very surprising. You always expect that there is going to be a reaction, but, you definitely don't expect to be talking to the likes of those guys today.
How many chapters are in your book?
I think there's about 15 chapters there, yeah.
Okay, and how many of them about you being gay?
There are probably 2, and I think that, that was a very important thing, that, when I was writing my book, I was never going to hide from my sexuality, but I was never going to dramatise it either, because that's a very fair reflection on my life and the way I lead it.
Okay, well, let's talk about that in a few minutes. There's other more exciting things in the book as well, by the way, that people will enjoy. Gerald McCarthy, of course, who took over as manager of Cork in 2007, and people will be very interested to know what you wrote about him and how you feel about him. How would you, at this stage, characterise your relationship with him?
Yeah, well, I suppose, first of all, that situation that happened in Cork was very disappointing. I think I described it in the book that it was a pity. To be fair to Gerald, he's a very proud man. He's a legend of the game. And, he was dropped into a pit, if you like, with 30 of the top hurlers in the game. And we were all left in there to fight each other. And the people who dropped us in the pit, I've said it in the book, are obviously the county board. And I presume they imagined that it would be Gerald that would be coming out of it.
Yeah, and you described going into that hotel the first time you met him with the team. I got the impression that there wasn't great love in the room from the get-go.
Yeah, I suppose, even probably before that, on a team holiday, I suppose we would have been very surprised at certain comments that did appear in the media.
Like what?
Obviously that, like that he wasn't a fan of our style of play, which just seemed a bit strange for us in terms of a man that was coming in to join the fight, if you like, and join the effort of bringing glory back to Cork. It was strange to be criticising what had been happening like that. Having said that, that wouldn't have been an issue, and if things improved or if things were good under his reign, that would have been long forgotten, but unfortunately they weren't.
And when you got to meet him then eventually with the team, those first few encounters, how would you describe those?
I suppose, again, they're well documented in the book. I think from day one, probably the best way to describe it was a marriage of an arranged marriage of 2 different fates, and it was never going to work.
Say fantasy hurling team, you're allowed to take a member of the Kilkenny squad to wear the red jersey of Cork. Who do you take?
I suppose, number 1 you take Henry Shefflin. I think I've heard some stuff this week that it isn't entirely reflective of what's said in the book. I think in the book I compare Henry Shefflin to Christy Ring, and I think that's the highest tribute that you could pay to any guy, and that Kilkenny team have taken the game to new heights over the last number of years. And having said that, I'm a Cork man, I'm proud, and if I'm writing my autobiography, I'm going to say exactly what I think, and I'm not going to be plumbossing for the sake of plumbossing. I'm going to give him my opinion.
You talk about his image as being something of like happy-go-lucky, but do you believe that?
Yeah, well, I suppose what I was describing there is that people can be very different off the field as on it, and to be a great player like Henry Shefflin, you need to be a great competitor, and his competitive qualities are second to none in the country.
Killer instinct?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of that in it, no doubt.
The win over Tipperary in the 2005 All-Ireland semi-final, what happened?
In the All-Ireland semi-final, the win over Tipperary, it's probably the Munster final that you're referring to.
Sorry, excuse me, yeah.
That's okay.
The one with the ball.
Yeah. I could have been harder on you there.
Yeah, I know
I said I'd save you.
Thank you so much. But you're good at saving. That's why you are who you are.
Good man. I suppose that, over the last number of years, you've had a crazy situation in hurling where those different slitters are used in different games, and we're competitive. We want to win. We want to take any advantage that we can, and if that means you're standing 21 yards away from a guy and creating a difference between him hitting a rocket at you or maybe softening up the sliotar a small bit and giving you a better opportunity of stopping the ball and a better opportunity of winning, then you're going to take that advantage if you can.
So you swap the ball?
Yeah, we swapped the ball. Definitely, you know, Owen Kelly was taking that penalty, and he's a great player and has a great shot. And it's, you know, the gap was there. It was allowed by the association. I suppose, you know, we exploited that gap, if you like, which is a natural thing to do for a competitor.
Is it legitimate then to win that game?
I think we won it fair and square enough. I think, you know, the point could be made that subsequent to us saving that ball, that Kieran Fraggy Murphy put the ball over from 60 or 70 yards, so there couldn't have been that much wrong with the sliotar.
Okay, but did you tamper with the ball? Is that?
I can't really remember, to be honest.
Are you thinking of running for politics maybe next time? What about the GPA, the Gaelic Players Association? You're considered to be a leading light in that. Do you think that the players like yourself and other teams around the country are respected by the GAA bosses?
Well, I think the Gaelic Players Association is there because there's a need for the Gaelic Players Association to be there. The game has very much changed over the last number of years. The demands that are on players, you know, be it media, be it, you know, the amount of time they spend training, and, you know, unfortunately we don't think the association, in the way it treats its players, has moved at the same pace. Things have improved in relations between the GPA and the GA, but they still have a bit to go. You know, I know there's been a lot made lately of the GPA's claim that they're entitled to 5% of the income, and, you know, if you just look at, we were talking about Kilkenny there earlier on, you look at the All-Ireland final, this year I don't think you're going to see as great a spectacle anywhere in the world. And I think that anybody going into that game, I think the tickets were €75 a piece. You take 5% of that is something like $375, and I don't think anybody in the stadium that day would mind giving $375 towards a players' organisation that, you know, in return for that money would look after those players when, you know, if they get into difficulty, be it from psychological difficulty, medical difficulty, even financial difficulty, helping with their education, and so on. And that's what the GPA is about, even though unfortunately it's categorised in a different way in a lot of areas.
So are you making progress, do you think?
We are, definitely. You know, I think that I think we are making progress. There's still a number of hard yards to be made. I think there's going to be, in the next while, there will be a certain leap of faith that will need to be taken by both sides. And I think in time that it'll be better for the association as a whole.
Are you a thorn in the side to the GAA?
I don't know, would you describe me as a thorn in the side of the GAA? I definitely believe that players need to be looked after. I believe that by looking after players, it will be better for the association in the long run. And I think it's very important to remember that all those players are GA members. I'm a GA member.
Sure.
You know, and that's a very important fact.
Let's go to the team holiday in South Africa, to the balcony that you were sharing, and you were chatting with Sean Og, I think, O'Halpine, and his girlfriend. Would that be right? And you were chatting away, and your sister phoned you.
Yes.
What did she say?
That was back in team holiday after us winning the 2005 All-Ireland final, and I suppose it's probably an idyllic evening, if you like, in a very relaxed setting in Neisner, which is part of the garden route in South Africa. And we were sitting eating our meal, and I got a phone call from home. And my sister asked me, was I gay? And obviously that was a bit of a shock to me. And I asked her what was happening, and she said that there was a lot of rumours going around at home that something had happened on the team holiday. And you know, I just asked her to take it easy, and to, you know, that I was a long ways away from home, and it wasn't exactly an ideal place to be having that conversation.
So you put down the phone and did what?
I suppose I put down the phone, and I went back and I finished my meal first of all, and tried to work out what I needed to do.
Were you panicked?
I don't think I was panicked. You know, I'd be that type of person that would try and work out what needed to be done. I suppose after that I went looking for a couple of lads in the team and asked them, was there anything happening that I should know about? And I went to Joe Dean, and if there was something happening, Joe would most of the time know what was happening. And you know, Joe said, look, there's stuff going on at home, and we spoke about it last night, he said, and we decided that we'd leave you alone and enjoy our holiday. But this is what's been said, and that's what's been said. And
time to go home then, was it?
Yeah, I think, you know, I got a couple of phone calls from home, and the misfortune of it was that we were in South Africa. We were preparing for 3 in a row. It was ideal training time, and I was due to go from South Africa to Spain to continue the training and preparation for the All-Ireland. So instead of being able to go to Spain, I had to go home and face up to reality, if you like.